On this Community Day, we are going to honor a variety of folks who have been members of our congregations for time periods between 4 years to 49 years. The wisdom, care, creativity, and devotion that these folks have brought to living out our mission has been tremendous. Now let's be frank. Over the last 60 years, we have folks who are still living and still participating. There have been hundreds of examples of people who are worthy of attention and gratitude. So in a way, the folks that we are recognizing today are representatives of many folks in each decade of joining have done so much. And I just want to give one quick example. Two of the people that are helping today, Jen Leiby is the chair of the Welcoming Community team, and her husband is making brunch for everybody as we do this. So it goes on and on. We revere the integrity and celebrate the blessings that so many have brought and received. We are going to have 3 different segments of acknowledging folks, and we ask you to hold your applause. We're going to have a very special time with the children thanking all these folks at the end. So we'll applaud later in the service. Right now, I turn it over to Jen and our most excellent student minister, McKinley Sims.
Would Zachary Bosco, Eli Scearce and Eileen Klein, and Charles and Betsy Gabriel please come forward? Don't be shy. Our first honoree this morning is Zachary Bosco.
Wait, so we can know.
Zachary joined USG in 2011. In that time, Zach has given many blessings to USG. One of those blessings is as a leader of a small group. You may not know this. Zachary was a minister with the United Church of Christ, and he has brought that ministerial knowledge to his leadership here, in writing curriculum and cultivating fellowship in this community. In the wider world, he has given blessings, including working with the homeless and as an advocate for LGBT rights. In that time, Zachary has received many blessings from this community and cites the strong support for his divorce as one more recent blessing. He has also formed many friendships here, which he treasures. As he says, it is a blessing to feel so loved and cared about. We are blessed by your presence in our community, Zach.
Next we have Eileen Klein and Eli Scearce. Eileen and Eli joined USG in 2005, and in that time, Eileen and Eli have given many blessings to the community here, which include teaching Sunday school, serving on the Religious Education Committee, leading the youth group, and leading the transformation team. They've also given their love and friendship to this community, always there with a listening ear or a big hug, supporting and nurturing those of us in their USG family, and warmly welcoming visitors to our church. Eileen, with daughter Monet, was part of the group that traveled to Haiti to work and represent our church community, part of the group that has put us in touch with a community there that most of us only dream of visiting. Eli is currently leading the transformation team, working with heart and soul to help make our community a beloved one that transcends race and class and ability. In this time, Eileen and Eli have also received blessings of love, friendship, community, and a village in which to raise their children. They have received the blessing of a place where they feel that they make a difference, and I can assure them that they absolutely do make a difference. Eileen and Eli, we are blessed by your presence in our community. Charles and Betsy Gabriel. Charles and Betsy joined in 2004, and in that time they've given USG many blessings. Their value to our community through serving on the church governing board and the caring committee, among many other duties, remains unchanged despite the passing of time. These initiatives are successes in large part due to leaders like Charles and Betsy. They can't say enough good things about us, and we can't say enough good things about them. Citing blessings, 2 years ago, they underwent a medical challenge, thanks to visits from the ministry team and the caring committee and the rest of the congregation who called, visited, sent cards, and simply put, led a phenomenal response of support. They firmly believe that one of the reasons they came through these issues as quickly as they did was the warmth and strength and healing thoughts of the congregation. Charles and Betsy are so proud to be part of such a wonderful community, and the very close friends that they have made here are what make the following maxim true for them. This congregation is community. Charles and Betsy, we are blessed by your presence in our community.
On Community Day, we've had two focus areas so far. The first one was spiritual practices. This morning there was some chanting, yoga, we did sacred reading, and art, and the list goes on. The other is just remembering that we need each other in community, as we're hearing in some of that. So, I could just read the New York Times and take walks in Carpenter Woods, and I might be okay for a while, but then really I would realize probably, hey, you know what? I need you. I need you. If I'm just by myself, pretty soon things get to be a little tougher than they need to be, and then they get tougher than that. The other thing that keeps us together, however, are our values, our Unitarian Universalist principles and purposes, and the children sometimes, shockingly, know them better than the adults. So right now, we're going to have a little example of that. And kids, you know that song you guys sing about the principles and purposes? One, each person is important. Do you know? Well, the kids who do, come on up, because I like to sing them with you, and then we're going to have them up on the board, and everybody can sing along with Magic Mark on the keyboard. So come on up, anybody. We're going to sing and have a little fun. Sing about our UU principles and purposes that are another part of what is a glue in our community. Come on up. Oh, yeah, come on. That was going to be good. Where... Daniel is a child, and so is Kent. And we're up here, and we'd like to welcome you other children. Is there a strike? Did we not get told? Is there some kind of a strike going on? Improved RE class space, or we don't come up front. Okay, well, maybe we should just sing it from where we are. Okay, let's take it from the top. One, each per... 1, 2... Carla Campbell, Rudy Sprinkle, and Andrea Barsevick cannot be standing up here right now because she's in another part of the church working with our teenagers on the most magnificent Our Whole Lives program. And, okay. Should I start? Yes.
Okay. Carla Campbell joined USG in 1991. And in that time, Carla has given many blessings to our community. And I will read her words in describing those blessings. In terms of leadership and my activities, I have chaired the Social Action Committee and Ending Racism Committee, as well as being a member of both for many, many years. I was a USG volunteer coordinator and board member for several years on NPIN, and I briefly chaired the ministry committee and was a member of Kent's early tenure during that period on the committee. I coordinated all church activities, Just Neighbor, which had the congregation examine poverty and justice in our community. And I also taught CSD for a number of years and a number of grade levels and courses back when my kids were actively attending CSD classes. I briefly served on the board for a year, completing someone's term, and that was about 10 years ago. Now, as to the blessings that Carla has received from the USG community, she says, USG has been a wonderful community for me and Ron. It has been very supportive and truly a wonderful anchor in our lives as we get ready to move to New Mexico, which makes all of us very sad. I realize how special this place is. We've enjoyed many great social events and get-togethers through the service auction, and we have given as much to the church. I've met a large number of USG friends through my work on various committees, and I especially cherish my friends on the Ending Racism Committee and have appreciated the Caring Committee for how it supports members through hard times, helping them and others when possible. I was able to participate in small group ministries and the women's group in the past. Thank you for giving many blessings, and thank you for receiving the many blessings of this community.
Carla, we waited to this moment to tell you you can't go. We're really serious. You're going to have to, no. Okay. Oh, Las Cruces, that's good, okay. So, Andrea is not standing here. She's working with the youth. Andrea Barsevick joined USG in 1986. In that time, she served once as president of the board. But she says much more importantly than that, she has been an Our Whole Lives teacher for 7th and 8th graders since 1989, every other year. She skipped one cycle. So that means she taught OWL 13 times. To give you a sense of the scope of that commitment, every cycle, every year that is taught, the teenagers have 27 sessions of curriculum. There's communicating with the teens and their parents and the church. There are overnight trips, one trip to Planned Parenthood, plus additional social times just for bonding and fun. This year they have 17 students. OWL is important, Andrea says, because it addresses critical issues about sex and health, UU values, and respect for others. OWL provides a safe place, and many parents over the years have told Andrea, before my kid got into OWL, I dragged my kid to church every Sunday. Now my kid drags me to church. Andrea was a founding member of the small group ministry leadership team over 10 years ago and was a leader of a small group every year for about a decade. She has also, due to her professional expertise, been a superb help to countless people over health issues, including her specialty in cancer. During her membership, Andrea has received many blessings from USG. She says, from the time we moved to Philadelphia, we started church hopping, looking for a UU community. We came here, and all four of us Rudy, Rob, and Beth, and I, all connected with somebody right away on the first visit and stopped looking. When Andrea broke her leg during their time here, the support was tremendous. When Rudy and Andrea's daughter Elizabeth came out of the closet to the congregation as a lesbian, the support was high moment of beauty and love. A year or two after Beth came out, Andrea and Beth led a worship service on how the experience impacted them both, and it was marvelous for the congregation and them. Andrea's presence in our community is a blessing. And we'll give her a big hug during the brunch. Bisexual. Sorry. Thank you. Rudy Sprinkle joined USG in 1986. Since that time, Rudy has given many blessings. He's been the financial secretary for the last 5 years, which means he's part-time staff person in the office multiple times a week. In the past, he was treasurer. He served on the board for a 3-year term. He was the Budget Finance Committee chair. He chaired the pledge campaign. Rudy taught OWL for teenagers for 4 different years, and he is teaching OWL for adults this year. Rudy was in the men's group when they held a regional men's UU conference, and Rudy, along with Andrea, have held soup nights in their house for USG people every Friday night of January for 10 years in a row. Warm, yummy food that allows people to connect with kindness, talking, and listening to each other in that dark month of January. Rudy has also played the piano for many services and sang in the choir with gusto, still does, 25 years in the choir. Rudy says that the church in his time has given him many blessings. In retirement, USG has kept him out of trouble. And that was a big project. It's been a huge value to give him community and identity. It's been an ethical grounding point. He says, oh my gosh, what if USG was not here? That would be terrible. Rudy, your presence in our community is a blessing. Daniel and I would like to invite forward Jeff Smith, Hal Krieger, Sarah West, and Ingrid Brown. Jeff Smith. Jeff, will you raise your hand? Joined USG in 1980, and since that time, Jeff has given many blessings. He was on the Nikki Brown Scholarship Fund that gave out scholarships to students. And for a number of years now, Jeff has been taking video on Sunday morning services with consistency and care so that we can share what happens at USG on Sunday morning with others who couldn't come here or folks even farther away. For some time now, he has also been changing the sign on Lincoln Drive, putting up the new letters, standing on the small hill in sun, rain, mud, or other conditions, getting out the message. During his membership, Jeff has received many blessings. In the creating of a new chapter of his life after his divorce and the kids going on to other parts of their life, this has been a grounding point and a foundation for Jeff. He says, whether I'm up or down, there's always something for me at USG, programmatically and with the people, and here I have learned from so many. Jeff, your presence in our community is a blessing. Hal Krieger joined USG in 1980. Since that time, Hal has given many blessings to USG. Hal and his wife Maria brought their first daughter, Nina, to church in the late 70s. Later, their daughter Beth was born. They joined. Hal chaired the Religious Education Committee, helping recruit teachers so that all the kids could have programs. At one point, so that we could have a high school group, Hal and Brene Graham provided leadership for high school programs to reestablish the group, and he did it for many years. He spent time at least 25 weekend overnight conferences. And as I like to say, I did maximum security jail ministry and campus ministry where you go to high school cons, and high school cons are much harder. And Hal and I actually met playing basketball at a youth con in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. He said the kids took over and did a lot of great programming. Hal also has done overnight for the homeless ministry. He was a charter member of the men's group and still active. Served as a member of the board of directors, 10 years on the Ending Racism Committee. He says being a part of that work has improved his sensitivity to issues of racism and white privilege. During his membership, Hal has received many blessings. At the time of his wife Maria's death and having her memorial service here, USG was a big deal to him. As a person who grew up Methodist and is now an atheist, Hal feels that church is the place to be on Sunday morning, and he remains dedicated to this concept, loving the place where everyone knows his name. Hal, your presence is a blessing in our community.
Ingrid Brown joined USG in 1966, and so a long time ago. And she took a slightly different tact in answering this question, which I really appreciate and support. As Ingrid considered the concept of blessings, she did some research, and this is what she came back with. She looked up the meaning of blessings and came back with praise, congratulate, salute, contributing to happiness, well-being, help to bringing happiness or prosperity, infusion of something with holiness, spiritual redemption, divine will, hope for approval. It's not easy to separate the two, giving blessings and receiving blessings, because it is within the loving circle of being with each other and being together, that we experience the many blessings around us. So these two concepts exist together, giving blessings and receiving blessings. And she describes it thusly. It is in the eye-to-eye contact when paths cross. It is the smile on a face and the solicitation for a smile in return. It is the feel of a friendly handshake. It is in the hug. It is in the recognition of sadness in the other person and reaching out to say, I am here and all will be okay, given time. It is in silent meditation. She goes on to say, I have extended blessings on an individual basis, and I have experienced blessings in times of great sadness and in times of joy. I feel blessed sitting in our beautiful sanctuary with light streaming in through the stained glass windows. And she ends by saying, remembering and reliving. Ingrid, you have received many blessings, and we are blessed with your presence.
Sarah West joined USG in 1974. Sarah has been president of the board, chair of a ministerial search committee, and worked on stewardship campaigns. This year, she co-chaired Dr. King Day of Service, which empowered over 600 volunteers to do good work in the wider community. Currently, Sarah co-chairs the Caring System with Linda Bernstein. Sarah says, I see every member and every friend as a part of the Caring System. When we ask for help on behalf of a specific person, the responses are awesome. Sometimes you give, sometimes you receive. In this community, it's a two-way street. During her membership, Sarah has received many blessings. She received a huge amount of support from USG around the illness and dying of her husband, Bob West. USG, she says, gives an opportunity to develop a spiritual life and to put it into practice. She says, seeing the whole universe outside oneself enlightens the bigger picture. USG provides traveling companions that help me to put aside smaller personal concerns and to be of good use. Sarah, your presence in our community is a blessing. And at this time, I'd like to invite all the celebrants from this morning to come forward, and so that the children can acknowledge them.
And I'd also like to invite the children to actually come up this time. And we have a special task that involves no speaking or singing for you to do. So all of the children, please join me in the front on this side.
Okay, now let's give a round of applause. We'll sing We Got the Need, Stand Straight.